Here's a song that embodies many of the truths about you. It's called Greater Power. One life beating all our hearts. One love living in everyone. If you breathe, just breathe. In the silence, what a sound. And you'll hear what's all around. 'Cause in me is light, so let it shine. In me is strength to make it mine. In me is peace to free my mind. In me is everything I need. In you is joy to heal the pain. In you is power to make a change. In you is truth to set you free. 'Cause in you is everything you need. A greater power's in you. A greater power's in you. One truth defined in you and me. A path to follow yourself to your source. If you breathe, just breathe. In the silence, what a sound. And you'll hear what's all around. 'Cause in me is light, so let it shine. In me is strength to make it mine. In me is peace to free my mind. In me is everything I need. In you is joy to heal the pain. In you is power to make a change. In you is truth to set you free. 'Cause in you is everything you need. Greater power's in you. A greater power's in you. A greater power's in you.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Agape. Yes, it's Sunday again, and I'm so grateful to be with you. If you're tuning in for the first time, realize, sit back, relax, listen. All we are is a spiritual community. We honor all paths. Agape, in case you don't know, means unconditional love in Greek. And when we talk about love, we talk about acceptance. So when we say I unconditionally love you, it means I unconditionally accept you. I think that brings love into a new perspective, into a different perspective. So Agape is a community that practices unconditional love. And we do that by teaching the teachings of the science of mind. Our vision is a world of conscious individuals supporting one another's evolution. What we value is conscious awareness, personal growth, authenticity, and community. If you're watching this, I would love for you to check in. Let me know where you're from. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know what they are. I'll be happy to answer them. I'll get back to you, I promise you on that. Also, if you're not a subscriber on YouTube, I would love to have you subscribe on our YouTube channel, Reveille Wallach. Because when you do that, our algorithm, the algorithm of YouTube, brings this video to more and more and more people. Because we teach self-empowerment. So if you're watching, that's what we're all about. We're all about self-empowerment. I think we need that now more than ever. Because with the world today, we're being manipulated. The media is pushing us this way, that way, the every which way. The question I ask is, are you thinking for yourself? Are you creating the life that you desire? because you're thinking for yourself. Because you were brought here to be unique. You are special, you are unique, you are perfect just like you are. How you live your life, that's your decision. What I want you to know is, don't sit back and just endure your life. You were not meant to endure life. You were meant to enjoy life. And that's what we talk about at Agape. So let's stop right now and let's sort of check in by getting into the quiet. Let's go into the stillness a little bit. So if you would, bring yourself to a comfortable seated upright position with your back straight, your hands gently resting on your lap. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Observe yourself breathing. Realize that you are not breathing you, that life is breathing you. And as life breathes you, it nourishes and it purifies you physically, mentally, emotionally. Visualize yourself surrounded by a beautiful, beautiful white light. And in this light, you are protected. You are safe. And I want you to listen to that area in your body where your heart is located. Listen to what your heart is asking. How does it want to experience life as you? Who does it want to be with? What does it want to do? And how does it want to do it? Don't try to rationalize it. Just listen to your heart. Whatever you have heard, realize that you can have. All it takes is taking one step in the direction of that which you desire. One thought in the direction of what you desire. A feeling toward the direction in which you desire. And to simply follow up with another thought, another action, another feeling. Embrace the truth that you are the creator of your life. And as you step into your life with clarity and belief, life always responds and gives you what you ask. So in this consciousness of connection, of an empowered state of being, start to bring your attention back to this time, to this place. Gently begin to move. And when you're ready, open your eyes and be fully present. Well, today, my talk title is The B Word. That's right, the B word. Can you guess what that is? It's probably not what you think. The B word is balance. I believe that this is a key to the most magnificent, magnificent life. That if we can find balance in our life, if we can live in balance in our life will take on a whole new meaning. I've done other talks on this in the past, and I thought about bringing back some of that information, and I said, no. What's on my mind right now? And so I'm going to talk to it from a bit of a different perspective. And I'm going to start with balance from this idea that the outer always reflects the inner. So you can see the balance there. The outer experience that you are having is simply a reflection of the inner that you are, your inner thoughts, your inner feelings. And so that when we understand that the outer is a reflection, we can see the outer, experience the outer, and if it's not what we want, we realize we're not in balance with what we want. We're out of balance with where we want to take our lives, how we want to express. And so realizing that, that's a clue to bring yourself back into balance. Let your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your feelings reflect that which you truly desire. When you do that, balance becomes your friend. The other area of balance to look at is the idea that there is always equal support and challenge. In every situation, no matter what the situation, whether you label it as good, bad, horrific, exuberant, there is always equal support and challenge because the universe is always in balance. Because if the universe was not always in balance, it would self-destruct upon itself. So when we think about this, in the midst of the most difficult situations, for example, in the midst of my father dying, there was balance. Because while my father was dying and I was primarily responsible from a health and a financial standpoint, he was in Maui, Hawaii, and I was in Dallas, Texas. There was balance because there were people there that I had lined up who were taking care of him. So while I had a challenge of the distance between he and I, there was the support of other people. And I found out afterwards, people I didn't even know were there supporting him. And when I look at my own life, I look at the challenges I've been faced with in my life. No matter how difficult. When my mother passed, who was as close to me as I can tell you, when she passed, other people assumed her role. Not the whole role, but parts of her role. So whatever support my mother had been given me, I now was receiving from other people. So I'm always equally supported. And you also understand that while supported, we're always challenged. Why? Because we're meant to grow. We're meant to grow. We're meant to be comfortable, and then we're meant to be challenged. It's the process of life. Being comfortable is a time to recharge. Recharge so that we have the energy and the desire to grow. Because let's face it, you don't want to be stagnant. So the balance goes comfort, growth. Comfort, growth. And every once in a while, we get to that point, and if we're aware enough, we can realize, oh, that's the balance point. But we're always moving in to balance. You see, here's another aspect of balance. We must learn to balance our heart and our intellect. And in society today, what I notice is that most people are driven by their intellect. They're driven by their mind, their ego. That which is in them that wants to be right, that has to be seen as the victor, that has to be seen as the best. And there are some people that are driven by their heart, where all they do is feel. What I've come to understand, it's balancing the intellect and the heart. And when we balance the intellect and the heart, we become more powerful. We become more open to a greater and greater and greater experience of life. We were meant to think, and we were meant to feel. And you see, when we talk about spiritual mind treatment at Agape, which is our form of affirmative prayer, we understand that when we make a declaration into the universe that I am abundant, the words in and of themselves don't give it power. But it's the feeling behind the words, the heart center behind the words that give it its power. But if it's just the heart without the clarity of the intellect, there's no power as well. So there's the balance there. There's also the balance about living our lives, about what's important and what's not. Do you focus more on the trivial, or do you focus on that which is important? Do you focus on just what's important, and have you neglected the trivial? You may be focusing on creating, let's say you're creating this incredible book, you're writing a book and everything, all your emphasis there. And you're going on and on and on, but you forget to pay your bills. You forget to do things that other commitments you've made. And your life goes topsy-turvy, doesn't it? So we've got to have balance in what's important and what's not. We can set up systems to bring balance into our life. For me, balancing being in the world and balancing my time alone is a critical part of my day. Balancing my time in meditation, my time in prayer, my time in visualization, my time in study, with being a teacher, a minister, a father, a grandfather, a husband, a friend. It's about balancing all of that. Because when that's balanced, life is a lot easier. Do you see that it's in the state of perfect balance that we experience peace? It's in the state of perfect balance that we get to know love. It's in the state of perfect balance where our body recharges. It's in the state of perfect balance that we know the one, we know the divine, we can know the infinite that is beyond description, because it's that point, that one point of perfect balance. That's why it's important that we balance our time to be alone and our time to be with others. This was a big thing for me when I was growing up, because I'm an extrovert. I love being with people. I wanted to be with people, to socialize, to do things. I was the arranger of a lot of social activities. I was always planning parties. I was always planning events, doing things. And then as I've matured, I went from being an extrovert to being an ambivert, where I value my time alone and I value my time with others. And I can tell you, when I've been alone too long, I get the craving to be with others. When I've been with others too long, I get the craving to be alone, to be by myself. And I honor that balance, because when I'm out of balance, I don't feel good. When I'm in balance, I am more authentic, I'm more real, I'm who I am. And you see, in our lives, we must also learn to balance our physical, our emotional, and our intellectual needs. Too many times we focus on just our physical needs and we neglect our emotional needs. We neglect our intellectual needs. Or we focus on the intellectual and we neglect our emotional needs and our physical needs. Or we focus on our emotional and we neglect the others. Or we focus on two of the three. But I'm telling you, if you only focus on one or two and not all three, there will be a void in your life and you will find that you have a discomfort in you. It could be a state of depression. It could be a state of anxiety. It could be a state of ill health. It could be a state of laziness. It could be a state of boredom. That's why it's important that we balance. We balance everything. I balance the time with my wife and myself. I balance the time with my sons and myself. I balance the time with my granddaughter. I balance the amount of time I give to being a minister. I balance the time in my life to do my finances, to take care of my body, to take care of the house. It's a huge job to be in balance. You see, we must learn to balance all the areas of our life. And let me tell you, it's a job that never ends. Because we were meant to fall out of balance, because when we fall out of balance, we start to build new desires about how we want life to be. And when we build new desires, now we can create. We become the creators that we are. And oh my God, how great is that to have something new to create? So being out of balance, there's a blessing in that. But the blessing is to get a new desire to create something new. But then we try to bring back balance because we're going to go in and out of it. It's the way life works. You see, one of the key things to a very productive life, to a life of self-worth, self-satisfaction, self-esteem, is that we must learn to balance our expectations and the expectations of others. We must first look at what is it I expect of myself? Is it real? And balance that with all the other expectations that I may have already committed to. And then we must balance whether or not we even take on any expectations that others have. You see, you can look at life in any way. Just simply take the idea. Should I eat that piece of cake? Because what will that do? That'll change my mental state and it'll change the type of food I'm putting in my body and have an impact on what my body does with it. And if I keep doing it over and over and over again, I'm putting food into my body that my body's not going to be able to create the healthy body I want. So again, I don't give up. Like, if I go to a fine restaurant, I normally don't eat sweets at all. But if I go to a fine restaurant, I may have a piece of tiramisu. I may have a chocolate mousse. Why? Because I can have balance in my food. Balance brings our bodies into homeostasis. Balance brings our emotions into homeostasis. Balance brings our minds into homeostasis. That's where we excel. That's where life is in its sweet spot. And the last thing I want to talk about is we must learn to balance the past, the present, and the future. And we must learn that the only place we ever really live is in the now. We live in this now. And then we choose, what lessons from the past do I want to bring into the now? What desires of the future do I want to bring in the now? And we keep it in balance. And you'll know if you bring too much of the past into the now, or you bring too much into the future now, because you'll experience depression and anxiety. Because in truth, the only thing that really matters is now. And in now, there is perfect balance, but that takes a deep level of awareness to be that fully present. You see, we weren't meant to be in a cave meditating all the time. We were meant to be living, interacting with life, with people. We were meant to be creators so that we could experience as much of this life as we can. I invite you to consider this. By bringing balance into your life, you will be able to experience more than you've ever dreamed of. Because by being in balance, you won't be held back by being locked in to memories of the past and unfulfilled dreams. Balance is a moment-by-moment decision. But guess what? We all can do it because we have the power over our mind. Let us pray. I know there is one. It is infinite. It is all-knowing. It is everywhere present. And it is all-powerful. I know that its natural nature is one of perfect balance. It lives, breathes, has its way in perfect balance, because without perfect balance, it would self-destroy. It could not exist. Because in the infinite, just by definition, there's perfect balance. So knowing that, I understand that I am an individualized expression of the infinite, as are you. So my natural birthright is the same as the infinite. I am a balanced being. I know that each person listening to this talk is a balanced being. And I make a declaration into this infinite mind that the wisdom to bring balance into my life, to bring balance into your life, is now brought forth. It is now made way. It's now known. It's known in such a clear way that we understand it, we receive it. And with that clarity, it is easy to act upon it. And we can begin to change the direction of our lives by living in this magnificent state of balance, of connection, of oneness. And we enjoy the process of moving out of balance and then moving back in, because that's what gives life its juice. So in that consciousness, I just embrace this idea. It's already been accomplished, because the mind that is infinite has taken these words and it's made it so. My job is to simply accept, to allow, to listen, and to act as if it is already done. And I embody that and know it to be so. And so it is. Amen. Well, if you are enjoying being a part of this Agape community, I invite you to support us. I invite you to make a donation and support us as we continue to bring this work to the world. So before you make that donation, though, let's say our treatment for financial freedom together. And remember, when we speak words, we always speak with feeling. So do this with feeling with me right now. I live in gratitude, knowing that I am financially free to do what I want, when I want, and how I want. And so it is. So if you go to agapespiritualcenter.com, you can make a donation. You can text to give on the number in front of you or scan the QR code. But I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm going to ask you to sign up and be a reoccurring giver of Agape. If Agape is feeding you, sign up online. You can do that at agapespiritualcenter.com. Click on the Giving tab, and you can sign up to give on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. And I want you to know that we will give back. Anyone who is giving $200 a month on a reoccurring basis receives all of our Agape classes for free. I have 9 classes that I now will be offering next year. There'll be 2 different classes, one time 3 different classes throughout the year. All of those classes are free. If you donate $100 a month, you get half the price of the classes. Also, let me share this one with you. If you're doing the $200 a month, you get all the classes for free. You also get a half-hour one-on-one personal phone call with me, either on Zoom or on the phone each month. So you actually have me there to coach or to guide you. So I want you to make a consideration. Would that be a benefit to you? We give to you so that you can give to us, so that we can bring this work to more and more people. So if that is of interest to you, make that a good Christmas gift to us at Agape and to you. So go to agapespiritualcenter.com, click on the Giving tab, and you'll see all of this information there, and you can make your choice. If you would like to receive a weekly announcement of all the things we're doing at Agape, or receive my daily thoughts, go to Agape Spiritual Center as well and sign up for our newsletter. The events that we're offering every day, we have the Agape meditation every morning, the meditation Sangha at 7 a.m. At 8 a.m., Thoughts That Can Change Your Life on Facebook and YouTube. We have our in-person service and meditation every Sunday. We have our online service just like this every Sunday. And on Wednesdays at 11, 1:30, and 7 p.m., we have Agape gatherings on Zoom. We have a women's group and we have a men's group. All of the information you need to know about this is on agapespiritualcenter.com. If you are seeking spiritual support through prayer or through counseling, we have 4 magnificent practitioners. We have Jean, Jean, Susie, and Doreen. You can find their information at Agape Spiritual Center. There's a prayer request form there. Fill it out and we will be happy to hold you in prayer. I want to thank you for taking your time to be with us, and I'm so grateful to have you as a member of this Agape community. So go out there, give the world the gift that only you can give, and that is to be you. And know that you are enough, you are perfect, whole, and complete. And for that, I love you and accept you just like you are. Aloha, everyone.